I survived Tok, Alaska. I'm here to tell the story. Tok, Alaska is on the crossroads of the Alaska Highway and the Tok Cutoff. Hold on, I'm shorter than that. And I am there because of my husband's job. It was not a willing moment in my life. If you want to meet people at Tok, Alaska, go to the post office. That is pretty much Tok Central. You will see everybody that you know and meet a whole lot of people you don't by going to get your mail every day. So that's the center of the hub. But the second center is what I call the mini Costco, 3 Bears. So if you want to do your grocery shopping, you have one choice, and that's 3 Bears. They actually give Costco about $3 million of business every year. The restaurant of choice, Fast Eddie's, it's the choice because the only other restaurant in town has smoking. And in the summer, though, we have 3 more restaurants to choose from, which is so exciting. But if you really want a meal, you only can go to Fast Eddie's. The average temperature, around minus 45 degrees in the winter. And I take pictures of the thermometer almost every day to prove this fact and to show everyone I'm alive because I tweet the thermometer. And at that temperature, it's actually quite beautiful. Things are crisper. The light is gorgeous. You don't feel it's too scary at that point, but you're realizing at some stage it's going to get pretty darn scary. But it is disastrous, even at minus 45 degrees. This was driving from Anchorage to Tok last Christmas, and I was given lots of wine by all of my friends. I said, please bring me cheap bottles of wine, and this is what happened. Oh. Needless to say, I just put saran wrap around all of them and salvaged them and drank them all later. Because in Tok, Alaska, you can't afford not to drink the wine that you bring from Anchorage. There's a saying that I just learned back then called burying the needle. It means it's so cold that the needle will actually go as far as it can go on your thermometer and not go any further, and yet everyone tells you it's colder than that. At that stage, things take on a mystical quality, very otherworldly, and you wonder if you're going to survive, but it doesn't really matter because it's so beautiful. It gets to the point where it starts to feel dangerous, but you can protect yourself. You get what's called a Tok special. Now here you've heard of engine block heaters. Well, they've got an engine block heater, an oil pan heater, transmission fluid heater, then they wrap a blanket around everything inside, and that's the Tok special. Now here, proof that your Halloween pumpkin does not go bad. Which is pretty miraculous, although some people do say that the moose tend to eat their pumpkins. This one has survived quite a long time. And here's our lab. Our lab loves the snow, but at minus 65, it does get dangerous. And at some of the times that he's out there, he will slow down and lay down, and I have to run out and carry him back into the house. Here's how we take care of our baby. She is bundled, but we don't go outside with her anything colder than minus 20. She's in Head Start. They run the school bus for Head Start to minus 45. This is how we have fun. But again, we don't have fun in Tok this way, outdoors, when it gets anything colder than minus 20. Usually minus 10 is practically bikini weather. Now, this is something that happened the other day when it got really cold. Ice started accumulating inside the house, but we have double thick windows and 12-inch walls. And it still came inside. This is in my daughter's bedroom. The casualty, her teddy bears that were on the windowsill. So we had to have some teddy bear surgery to repair all the ice burn. And that was the end of the adventure of that day. Thankfully, it was just the teddy bears. So she's getting used to the cold, but me, I'm still finding unusual things. Driving at minus 60 and below, you get something called square tires, which I'd never heard of before, but when you start to drive, you hear thud-a-gonk, 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 and it is the air within the tires freezing, and it takes a while to warm up, and so your tires are in odd shapes. So whenever you hear square tires, now you know what it is. So the cold becomes impossible to bear, and the way you learn how to survive is watch videos on YouTube of Antarctica. And they all wear bunny boots, just like we do in Tok, Alaska.